Yo, Ed,
Yep.
we gotta get on that push-up challenge, man. I've been doing it, man. I'm down to 202. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'll talk about it.
What up, it's your boy Black Man Chris, and you're tuning in with Ron, John, and Dre on the Echoless Chamber.
It's time for the
Go!
Echoless Chamber.
Nah, turn that to
The
Pringles.
Echoless Chamber. The Echoless Chamber. Open your mind and listen to both sides.
Putting out the wrong
The
vibe.
Echoless Chamber. The Echoless Chamber. The Echoless Chamber. Open your mind and listen to both sides. Check it. You wake up early for work, button up, tied up, tuck your shirt. It's just a day in the blue, chipping off these pieces of you. But at the end of the day, tune in with Ron, John, and Dre. They got the word, the surge to have you heard. And when they talk, you hear. They speak the truth, no fear. From God to sports to politics, right here. Facts. No judgment for others. They got respect for each other to unify one another. Now let's go. The Echoless Chamber. The Echoless Chamber. The Echoless Chamber. Open your mind and listen to both sides. The Echoless Chamber. The Echoless Chamber. The Echoless Chamber. Open your mind and listen to both sides.
Do it straight.
I'm older than
Long
you.
time ago.
So 6 sets to 25.
Throughout the day.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Junior Caster, a.k.a. Ron. I'm here with John, the family man, and Righteous 119, a.k.a. Dre.
Yep.
We're here for another episode of The Equals Channel. Today's topic, relationship. We got two special guests, Franklin and Ed. Let's get this ball started.
Was good. Shout out to your social medias before, yeah.
F Celestin 7 on any platform.
Yeah.
I haven't established mine, so we'll put a pin in that.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
Hey, righteous119.com and all the other places.
All right.
All right, so first up for today.
Mm-hmm.
These are good topics. So,
I figured we start off real quick just by letting everybody know our statuses. So, the conversation has context. Me personally, I'm married. I'm happily married. Got 2 kids. We've been married for a long time. And yeah, that's where I'm coming from.
I'm married also, 2 kids. Married for 10 years now.
Righteous?
Oh, yeah. I'm happily married to my craft and to the Lord. And but when you talk about as far as like a relationship between a man and a beautiful woman, I am very much single.
Mm.
Okay. What about you, Franklin?
So I have been married. I was married for 10 years. I had 3 kids out of that relationship, out of that marriage. I got divorced a few years back, more than a few years back. And now I'm in a relationship with a woman that I foresee to be somebody more.
Right. That man looks happy.
Smiling.
Yeah.
Ed.
Ooh, man. So I'm all over the place, but put it simply, I'm single. I got 1 son by 1 woman, and I have possibly a daughter on the way. And that's my current situation.
All right.
All right.
Keep it simple for now.
All right. Well, let's get this ball started. You know what I'm saying? First question. This might be a little easy question. But first question is, do you still believe in marriage? And would you recommend it to today's day and age guys?
To the younger generation.
So I guess that's really a question for me.
No, it's a question for everyone because we all have different mindsets, different life experiences that have brought us to this point. So I'm gonna let our guests go first. So Franklin.
All right, all right. Short answer is I still do. I still do believe in marriage, and I would recommend it. Um, I just know that I did it wrong. I learned from it. I'd be a foolish man if I didn't. And
How much
hopefully,
did you learn about it?
oh, there was a whole lot. And if we're diving in, it might hit a whole lot of areas that we don't
Mm.
intend to go.
Yeah, I
Um,
got you.
I've definitely grown. I've definitely grown as a person, as an individual, as a man. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it right next time.
Okay, okay, okay.
Mhm.
Ed.
I don't look at divorce as a negative. I view it as like you just got through it faster. You know what
There
I
you
mean?
go.
So
Yeah.
you went from the beginning, middle, and end a lot faster than others.
Yeah.
Where John has another 40 years left in his. You just went through it for 10 years. You kind of went through all the peaks and valleys.
Mhm.
But no, I believe in I still believe in marriage, but to the right one.
Mm.
Someone who's on the same page as you, has the same ambitions, who motivates and supports just like you motivate and support her. Um, but yeah, I still believe in
Okay, okay.
it. Believe it or
Dre.
not.
I still believe in marriage. Yeah, man. I wholly endorse marriage. I believe in the, like I said, you just gotta find the right one. It's all the task of finding the right one. I believe, how you start is how you finish too. You open up in a relationship trying to lie to get in the cookie jar. What else do you start lying about? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times that's what we doing. Men approach relationships, looking for the end game, as far as like how the night's going to end. And we end up lying and trying to be something we not just to get with a chick. And we end up getting stuck in that mode. We make decisions based on the mode that we started in.
Mm.
Next thing you know, we in a relationship full of hell because we find out that she find out we living a lie, then we actually start coming to terms of us living a lie, and we got a whole bunch of hell. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, I think we finding the right one and trying to find the right one, love and commitment and honor should be priority as opposed to lust and knocking Judy back out and all this stuff.
Mm.
I'm
All
just saying.
right, all right, all right. Well, listen, I believe, yes, I definitely, I'm a happily married man, but I believe more so in proper counseling now than I did, when I first started. Because I think a lot of the problems and issues that we encounter are that as young men and young women, we do not have a realistic viewpoint on what marriage is going to be, not just in the current, the first year where it's all honeymoons and everything is great, but what that is once children come, what that is 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. I'm not the man I was in my 20s. I'm a far different person in many different aspects. So, it's challenging and difficult to kind of extrapolate out both two people that are growing and hoping that you can both grow together properly.
You
So I
say
believe,
you say you're a different man now. Now,
yes.
what makes you different? How were you in your past versus how are you now when it
Well,
comes to relationships?
for starters, I was a lot more selfish prior to having children. It was, listen, it was all about myself. It was all about, listen, I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to, me, I love to travel. I
Yeah,
want to travel more. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to see, and I was able to. I was able to see many things. But, over the past couple of years, it's, my wife came to me, listen, we're going to have to scale it back. We can't keep going here, there. I'm like, and that hurt.
yeah,
But as a man, I'm like, okay, because I put my wife and children's needs before myself now. I was also, financially illiterate in my 20s. I was terrible. I messed up my credit. Because I didn't plan for the future. And that goes back to the point of being selfish. I was thinking about myself. We were putting Lamborghini doors on the cars. We were putting, flip out TVs. We were doing the amount of
May
money
I add,
and
you was doing that back when it was really
yeah,
expensive to do that.
exactly. Like we were putting Lamborghini doors on the cars back when it was not cheap.
Doors on and all that
yeah.
other stuff when it was like $2,000 for a hen.
And
Yo,
the
what
amount
is
of
that car? That car was dope.
I still have it.
Oh, okay.
I stocked it back out, but the amount of money that I spent, like if I had my current mindset back then, man, financially, where I would be in life. Because right
Yeah.
now I'm all about eliminating debt. I want to have zero debt. That's what's appealing to me. And that's a conversation for another day, our life goals and how we can improve ourselves as men. We can talk about that later. But to answer your question, I am a far different person right now than I was back then. I don't even
Yeah.
recognize that guy. And I spoken to my wife, and she says, she's a far different woman than she was back then.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to have a realistic expectation of what day-to-day marriage is for two people.
But I don't think you can ever have a realistic,
No.
like being in marriage. Like you can't. Like I would have never figured to have or to go through or to experience a lot of the things that you experience while you're in that. There is
Yeah.
zero expectation for it because it's such a evolving, moving piece that it's just like you you could never expect to imagine this could happen. This could
Yeah.
happen. Like
What,
it's
what,
just
what
not
kind of
real.
what kind of examples did we have? It is what I would pose. The question I would pose. I didn't have a good example growing up, and even the families with the best of communications. You as a kid, are you in the mindset to really handle what's going on or to see what's happening on the maturity level? I don't know. For me, I definitely think if I had a better example, and if I still had that example giving me conversations whenever I needed them,
Hmm.
hey, dad, hey, mom, this is what's happening in my current relationship. How did you guys handle it, kind of thing? I think that would go. It would immensely help.
Father don't want to do that either.
Well,
Like
here's the thing. Like I had a great example.
Mhm.
My parents were great examples, but when I was a young man, I thought I knew everything. I didn't need them. I knew what I needed in life. However, on the flip side, and Ronald knows this, when we were working at places like Home Depot and Lowe's, we worked with a lot of older men.
Uh,
And those men were terrible examples. They gave awful advice to us as young men. It's like,
Facts.
never let it's like
hilarious.
never let your woman make more money than you, this, that, and the other. Like it was all about, and yeah, we were given horrible advice from the older men in our communities. Now, these are the people that you work around. These are the people that you talk to. And that's why, when I'm at work now and these young men are asking me, what is marriage like? I'm giving that serious and significant thought. I'm not going to give them just a sunshine and rainbows viewpoint of what it is, but I'm trying to be legitimately helpful to these young men because you're right. As far as examples are concerned, even if you did have a good example, the chances are, what is that noise?
This is getting into somebody's phone or something.
Dre, is that your phone?
I'm sorry.
But why he look down though?
Huh?
You know, that's
Because
like the guilty kid in the room. And
Yo,
you know, he did so. I'm gonna look down.
whose
So
phone is that?
oh my god.
it
Yeah.
always happens.
That's a popular man right there. He's his
No,
new
but you know
single
that
out.
happens. As soon as they
New
make it
single out.
official, you know that new single
I'm
out.
sorry.
You know
I'm
that
s-
Save Me is fire. I love it. He got a new single out, so his phone is probably jumping off the hook.
Yeah, yeah. But
yeah.
yeah,
Can
I
you
think
hear me?
yeah, we can hear you still.
Okay.
I think you're right, Franklin, that the having good mentors, especially men, in our community, because you may or may not choose to listen to your parents, but even when coaching football and stuff like that, I try my best to give sound, thoughtful advice to young men as they're growing up, and eventually I'll have to give it to my son. And at that point in time, I'm not. He may or may not listen to me, but
That's the thing. Like we all kind of had, we had the bad advices at work, but we had some sort of good advice somewhere or role model. But did we choose to listen to that at the time? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? At the time, figure this out on my own.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. And I could say personally, like, for me, marriage has been different. Marriage has been like everyday. It's like you learning every day. It's always evolving. Like I said before, it's always evolving to something. It's just like, wow.
Your
I'm
focus has
different.
changed.
Exactly. The focus is changing. I can honestly say I'm different. Almost 10 years, I could say from the first married guy I was to the married guy I am today, that's two different light years away. You know what I'm saying? That's light years away from each other. Like this guy today is different from the guy when I first got him.
Yeah.
Who is the first one versus the second one? Like what's a significant lesson? Like a lesson that you really had to learn.
Patience,
Okay.
Compromise,
compromise.
Yeah.
sacrifice.
That's my biggest problem is compromise.
Especially
Like,
when you feel that you know you're right.
Yeah.
Hold on. Why is that your biggest problem?
Franklin hit the nail on the head. If you like me and you struggle with that, I'm right. I'm right. What's going on? I'm right. And to be able to go, oh, shut up right now.
See me,
Yeah.
I don't. You know,
To pick your battles. To pick your
You
battle.
figure this one out on your own. I know where it's going, but
see, Ronald knows me. I don't like arguing.
yeah,
So I'm a different person. I just don't feel like, my philosophy is if this argument is not going to be important in a year from now, it's not worth my time. There are some arguments that are worth having. There's some arguments that are significant,
see,
but I'm not for all the petty arguments. I just don't.
I could never grasp that part.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was married. I could never
oh, that was beautiful. Say that again. I might put that in a Facebook post. Say it
What?
again, John.
What if an
John, say it
argument's not
again.
going to? If listen, there are some arguments that are not. If you're not going to be thinking about this a year from now, what's the point? Because there are significant arguments. There are things that need to be
Mm-hmm.
discussed. There are things that need to be worked out, especially when it
Addressed. Yep.
pertains to children's or big life decisions. And then there's other stuff, which is just it's temporary, it's pointless, it's a waste of time to be, but that's just how I feel. And that causes conflict because I've been in relationships where girls are upset because I don't argue with them because I just don't feel like it. I had a girl tell me, yeah, I just try to argue with you to keep you on your toes. I'm like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I heard that before.
I'm like, yeah, but yeah.
Part of driving men crazy kind of thing.
Yeah, but for me, I'm not. I know people that love that. They love to argue. They love to get in there. They love to boom, boom. They they get that. I don't know if you get a rush from the trading blows or whatever. Being right.
They want to debate. You got to be right.
I don't need to be right. I don't need to go to war to prove my point. I don't need to. I'm not going to be that person that's going to be upset and shut down for days on end just because I want to. But on both sides of the coin, it causes conflict because it causes conflict with me. And I have this mentality. I'm like, listen, I don't want to argue. Oh, but then you don't care. No, I never said no. I just don't feel like, I don't feel like arguing over trivial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The important stuff I will let you know. What I deem is, worth my time and worth my standing my ground on. Most stuff, I'm indifferent.
But you'll argue about those points because arguments are important, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
arguments are
It's
very
just I
important.
have a very high level of indifference.
I would say more so too is trying to learn how to navigate the language between each other.
Yeah,
Because you both speak a different language.
yeah. And even my wife will tell you I'm a calm guy, but there's some things that even she knows my triggers. She knows how to trigger me, and
They all do.
then I blow up. Then I get, but other than that, I'm a pretty calm guy. I have a high level of indifference. My personality is stoicism, I guess, as they call it.
Okay.
Most things I'm indifferent to.
With me, I was raised around women, nothing but women. Women were always around me growing up. And all they did all the time was argue, complain, scream, and holler and yell and everything. And I'm the type, I've been told this so many times, like, it's hard to stay mad at me. You know what I mean? It's hard to hate me. You know, I don't argue with nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm very generous and, kind of, whatever. But, with me, I have that mentality that, like, I will bite back. I will swing back. So it's like when a woman I'm with decides that she wants to argue, I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna make time for this. Let's do this. Like,
yeah.
let's do this. I mean,
because you're ready. Wow.
Yeah, I'm ready at any moment, because the problem is that I've noticed with all women, especially Latin women, is that they feel like you owe them.
I think I need some of that arsenal before you finish that statement. Because you got a safe next to him where you can protect yourself.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Listen, we as men, we have different approaches, and really, honestly, what I've learned is no matter what your approach is, it's you're gonna run into problems, you're gonna run into complications. You got to learn how to overcome these things, and
because here's my compromise. If you ain't gonna talk to me like eye to eye, and you're gonna talk down to me and yell at me and scream, it's like, all right, I'm gonna make time for this. I'm gonna make it, and then. Women, they like to not hold back. They'll hit you with the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the point I'm trying to make. Or is that more of a sparring session? It's a sparring session because
then it's unproductive.
Because
then I consider it a waste of my time.
I'm very easy to deal with. You know what I mean? I'm extremely laid back, bro. Like, seriously. So it's like when one of them tries to like talk to me crazy, it's like, all right. Like, we could do this. Let's go. Yeah. Since you don't want to talk to me eye to eye, you want to talk like, you're above me and I owe you something. You know what I mean? The last relationship I was with, the girl came in with literally just a garbage bag with like 3 outfits and 2 shoes. You know what I mean? And then she had the balls to like talk down to me. You get what I'm saying? And I still treated her great. I still did everything I was supposed to do as a man. But at the same time, like, you don't got much of a leg to stand on if you're gonna like talk down to me. Like, nah, get out of here with that.
Let me ask this question. Segueing into question number 2 is: so your views of marriage, has it changed for some of us? I think for me, I would say absolutely.
Yeah. My thing is.
Wait, bro. How has your view of marriage changed?
Because before I didn't have a view of it. Like, I didn't even know what it was. And I didn't know what it was in the sense of what it actually is compared to going through it. It's different. So it had to change because what I thought marriage was a fairy tale.
Yeah, exactly. Like me, when I first got married, it was me and my wife. And it was us against the world, and we had a great time. We traveled, we lived, we struggled, we went through stuff. It changed drastically when children came, and that's a beautiful thing. I love my children. I love being a family man, but it changes your relationship with your wife. That dynamic that I was unaware of, that I did not know was going to happen. I did not know that, in a woman's mind, the children are the priority. And then there's me. At one point in time, I was the priority, but that's not the case anymore. And I'm okay with that. My children are my priority. My wife is my priority. Me as a man, I need to prioritize both of them. Pretty much all of my decisions, all of my actions, all of my effort goes towards, improving their lives. But, there is a certain degree of sacrifice that comes into play. It's not us anymore. My children go to DR every summer. So, they go away for a month and a half, and then I have my wife all to myself. I love that time of year. I love it. Anyone that knows me knows I love that time of year. I didn't have it this year, and it drove me insane. I didn't go anywhere. This year I spent all COVID with my children and my wife in my house. Now, although me and my wife are in the same house, it's not the same as if when my children are spending time with their mother and father-in-law. So that was the biggest, going back to 20-year-old me was selfish. It was all about us. It was all about having fun. In reality, we try to do like date nights on Tuesdays, but she doesn't have the time. We don't have the time. We have people that are relying on us. So for me, that's the biggest change, is realizing that it changes. Your priorities change, her priorities change. And while as a man, it is still my priority to prioritize both my wife and my children, I realize that it's not the same. It'll never be what it was back when it was just the two of us versus the world.
I agree with a lot of that.
Franco,
Yeah, I agree with a lot.
Franco, what about you? For somebody that's been there and done that, and now
Yeah.
just trying to revisit that.
And now you're back in that right now. You're back in that us against the world, man. I miss those. I miss those days.
Because I did go through it, and despite all the things that happened, and even though I came out with the mentality that I'm probably not going to do that again, it wasn't because I lost hope in marriage or my belief in marriage. I honestly knew going in I did it wrong. So after marriage, I told myself I'm never going to do it again. Not because I don't believe in it, because now I have to focus on the kids and make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
So I repurposed everything. Everything was going towards them. I wasn't going to let anybody kind of get in the way, because my kids would have to learn somebody else. I wasn't going to put them through that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was exercising, if we want to call it that, because men need to exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can understand what I'm talking about. And while I was doing that, I was focusing on the kids. Mm-hmm. So when this new relationship came around, I saw the possibility of getting marriage the way I thought it to be. And I think I always had a good handle on what marriage is. Now, the unforeseeable things like getting jealous because a baby sucking on a mama's titty and I'm over here sitting in the corner by myself, like, yeah, that's the stuff you can't foresee. Like, you can't foresee understanding that your offspring needs their mother, but you also need your wife. Yeah.
And that's a big one.
Right. That's it. It's a huge one. And then there's many other situations like that happens in marriage. But the way I went into marriage was knowing that there were going to be a lot of things that needed to be overcome, but you guys are going to do it together. Yeah. And in my situation, nothing happened together.
Okay.
So it did become one person just kind of being a shell of himself or not being present. And the marriage was never going to last like that.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Even though I held out for 10 years, it just was never was gonna last. So but yeah.
Motions?
Go ahead.
Like pretty much like going through the motions.
Some of it. And then when you decide you don't want to go on, you don't want to just coast and you want to put your feet to the pedal, then it's a problem, because now people don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
Like you try to show it and it's like, well, this isn't what you were showing me. So who is this person? And then you try to keep it going. It's an argument. So you go back to coasting. Life is good.
Yeah. I got you. What about you, Ed?
So the question was what exactly? Because I got caught up in everything.
Has your view on marriage changed at all as you got older and progressed as a man through your life experiences or other life experiences that you've seen from other people?
To be honest with you, I wanted that since I was 12. Like, it's really strange. Given what I told you guys earlier, I believe it or not, I still wanted only that. And I haven't experienced it personally, but I have experienced what he was talking about, being a shell of your former self, with this last one I was with, you know what I mean? And I don't know, it's hard, man. Like, but I do my how do I say this? I'm still optimistic and I still believe in it. And I still, my perception or views on it has never changed. And I've seen a lot of successful marriages, and I've seen a lot of horribly like disastrous marriages, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you hope for the better version, but I don't know. My opinions haven't really changed at all because, again, I haven't experienced any of it.
Okay.
Let me ask you guys this question then. In marriage,
Oh,
There.
very.
Very important. The Bible calls it due benevolence. Due benevolence. You know? Huh?
Explain that for me.
Due benevolence. You are to render to your wife, and your wife is to render to you. And if there is a time that y'all need to be consecrated to get to get what you need to get from God spiritually, that's pre-discussed, but it's only supposed to be for a moment, so you won't be tempted away with other passions. But generally, the wife is supposed to render to the man, and the man is supposed to render to the wife. Neither one of them is supposed to be withholding from each other, which happens in marriage all the time, from what I understand.
Oh yeah.
I've heard a common story. Now, there's a lot of exceptions to the story, but I've heard men say that once the ring goes on, the sex goes off. And now I'm sure it's not the case, with you brothers up here on the phone, but I've heard this story before. Yeah.
There are two factors. Control being one of them.
Yeah, they're like I was saying before we started this. What? Yeah, even in relationships, women are still the gatekeepers to sex. So looking at the traditional, women use sex to acquire relationships, and men use relationships to acquire sex. But we lose all leverage once we say I do.
Yeah, you become like a puppy. You just follow around the house.
It's not just that it's just that it's not the same priority to them that it is to us. I'm still at that same stage. I'm mentally matured, but physically, as far as lust and things of that nature, I'm still at the same stage I was when I was 20. Like that has not gone away.
Yeah.
I am still there. Anyone that knows me, and I'm not just saying it for the podcast, anyone that knows me, even back then, I wanted my wife. I wanted her. And that has not changed. I am still there. The problem is, it's not the same over here. It's not, let me not say that, because that makes it sound more,
unrequited.
Yeah, than it actually is. It's just I'm almost 40 now, and I guess when I'm 50, I'll still be here, which is crazy. And I since I've been down here, I've heard three separate people have told me that I tell people, yeah, I'm married, and they'll tell me, oh man, you in Atlanta, they like them married. And I've heard that 3 different times since I've been down here from, different guys and girls. And I asked this girl, the last person that told me this, and I'm like, why? She's like, oh, because it shows that you're not afraid of commitment. I'm like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Not afraid of commitment. She's like, well, that's because you're looking at it from a logic-based standpoint of a man. Look at it from the viewpoint of a woman. She's like, she looks at your relationship, and from her mindset, she's like, listen, any wife that loves her husband will make time for his needs and desires. If she doesn't, then she obviously doesn't love him. She doesn't care about him. She might love what you can provide her. She might love the kids that you're able to give her. She might love the paycheck that you bring home. But from their standpoint, she don't love her. So she's looking at it that this is a good man that's stuck in a relationship with a woman that no longer cares about him. She doesn't care. She doesn't love him. She doesn't care for his needs, and I can, listen, when I getting on that grass on the other side, I'm going to show him all the appreciation that he's not getting from his wife. I'm better than her. And I guess that's what breeds this whole side chick culture that we, currently live in today, is that mindset that, because for us as men, that's crazy. Like if you're with a girl and you see like the picture on the nightstand of her boyfriend, are y'all gonna wife her?
No, you're supposed to be turned off.
No. But from and I've heard this from many women over the years, like, oh no, they think that they're better they're different than her, so they can change them. They can provide what they did, and when they get into
Yeah.
that marriage, it's going to be
Yeah, be a girl,
vastly
hey,
different.
girl, do it like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so yes, I believe
Use
it.
that with the 80-20
Well, yeah, that's it. Yes, yeah. But yeah, I believe it is very, very important because what I spoke to my wife about this. What I think that women don't understand is that it's not a choice. I don't wake up and think, you know what, I should be concentrating on work, but I want to be just vastly horny. I just want to be horny all day. I love it. This is because horniness, it can reach a point of either being a positive or a very, very annoying, distracting negative. It's just somebody that's, listen, I don't have time for this. But listen, man, like, no, like, and
Yo.
when you're in the confines of a marriage where, I have a single sole source of sexual attention, yes, it becomes a very, very important thing.
My thing is, if a woman's gonna withhold sex, don't get mad when you find the porn.
It's
Okay.
different than, there's a difference between withholding.
I didn't hear that. Yeah, I didn't hear that. Go ahead.
If you're withholding sex, don't get mad when you find the porn.
Yeah.
Oh.
If a woman withholds sex from a man, she
Right.
shouldn't get mad when she finds his porn stash.
Dre, I think there's a difference between, and being married for a long time, there's a difference between withholding and just not being on your mind. Just, it's, you've got the kids, you've got work, you've got this,
So
you've
many
got that, you've
priorities.
got, it's not the same priority it is as us men. To us, it's always there. There's a box that's always sitting on my desk, not a figure, literal box, but there's that. It's always there. It never goes away unless, yeah. So I don't think it's a matter of withholding. I think it's especially when children come, you're just not the priority anymore.
I should have asked this before we even started, but how expressive and explicit can we be?
Keep it friendly. We're a family.
Family, okay.
Yeah.
Because like I have a lot of things going on here, and I don't know how far I should.
No. Speak your mind. Speak your mind.
Hopefully it helps. Hopefully I help you draw it out. Hopefully I draw it out a little bit, Ed, because I have to disagree in some areas with my man John. So yes, sex is very important. Sex is important, especially if it's important to one person in the relationship. It's very important.
Yeah.
I would say that for me, being sexual is important as opposed to the actual act of sex.
Oh, I agree.
So if we're grouping all that
together,
let's
say sexual attention.
Yeah, because for me,
it comes. You're right. It does come in numerous different phases and acts, and it could be something as simple as dressing up nice, and yeah, I agree with you in that regard.
I feed off of my partner. I will feed off of you. So if I know that there's a situation that when you pass me and you graze me on the back of my head, that's the normal. Mm-hmm. And then there's another day where you pass me and I just feel coldness coming from you. Yeah, I'm gonna feel like something's wrong because I need to know that it's all good. It's one of the languages that puts me at ease or puts me in a calm, knowing that we're in a good place. She rubs me on my chest whenever we sit down or something like that. She got a hand on my knee or something. Yeah. Oh, it's all good. As opposed to me needing it all the time. Now, I've been in situations where I would say most of my situations where, the girl wants it way more than me, right? Doesn't mean I don't want it. There's just, either I prioritize something else or I'm tired from a long day. Here I am sounding like a woman. But but I will say it is very important. I will say it's very important. I'm used to being the person that, I don't want to say the gatekeeper, but kind of having the final say so, like, oh yeah, we're getting it in tonight, or nah, it don't look like it's happening.
I can tell you, I am definitely not the gatekeeper. I am most certainly not. Without a shadow of a doubt. That is not the case in mine. But you're right, every situation is different. And if both people don't care, then it's a non-factor.
Yeah.
But you gotta look at the mathematical equation here. Like when you're married or you're with somebody, it's her. So you
Yeah.
go from being by yourself, just looking at one like, and then they just run to you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then you go from that all day, every day, and then you focus on one. She has to compensate for what is it, like 7 billion people on Earth? Like, yo,
That's a lot
They
of
don't think that way.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, and if there's women listening or whatever, that's something that we as men, we're very simple. We wanna, we have our wants and we have our needs, and sex is one of those needs. And as far
I
as the
will say you
relationship
are right.
I don't think
We are.
I don't think most women believe, man, when they say like, yo, you're mad simple.
I am simple. I told my
I'm
wife
simple.
this. I'm like, listen, I can wash my own clothes. I can cook my own food. I can wash my own dishes. None of that. These are things that I can handle myself. But
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, John Ronald, we got a friend right now. Well, not right now, but a friend that y'all know very well. He said he got married, the sex stopped. He said before they got married, it was like she was recruiting for the military. Everything was nice. She was
well,
ironing his clothes, giving him sex when he wanted it. It was like she was recruiting. And then
oh,
they got married, and then the sex stopped. And then she got pissed because she messed around and found his porn stash, and he ended up on the couch.
Well,
And
is it cheating? Is it cheating if she doesn't know about it?
She
Is
put him on the
porn
couch.
cheating? Is porn cheating?
no.
I would say porn is not cheating if she knows about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
know-
If you're yeah, there's a difference between the
I agree with
deception
that.
and the sneaking. Yeah, you're right.
I'm
You're
glad
right.
you answered it. I'm glad you did, because I was sitting there thinking. But yeah. I agree with that answer.
There may be some men that never seen porn before. More power to you, my brothers. But I will say that porn is now a staple, or is part of the new norm, if it wasn't already. And if you don't share it with your wife, or she doesn't know about it, or with your significant other, then I believe it's cheating. But I don't see any problem with bringing them into it.
Yeah. And then what it does to a woman psychologically, it does to a woman. It makes her feel like she asks herself, am I not good enough?
See, but what I was trying to say was the funny thing that women like to ask when they see stuff like that, or when they catch you watching porn, is like, "Do you think of me?" And it's like, when you do it, it's like, "Yo, you see?" Like, I heard it on a comedy once. It's like,
Yeah.
you see that woman with like 30 guys on her? No, I'm not thinking of you. I'm thinking of her. Like, it's like, are you kidding me? And I don't know. I feel like women.
You really saying that though?
Oh yeah.
You're not saying
Oh, I'll say that.
man.
I'll say that. Hey, as John, man, my mouth is like crazy. I say some, I'll say some stuff.
Yeah,
So
I'm not thinking of you. I'm thinking of that.
you gotta be real.
You would say that?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
Wow.
Look,
Like I
Yeah.
said earlier, I'm very brash, and I'm very direct and upfront. And I expect that. I expect that in return. No, not at all, bro. But I expect that in return. Like, I expect a woman to be real with me and be like, you look like that, you look stupid, like, or what the what's wrong with you, bro? Like, I want that in return. But I don't, as blunt and brash as I speak, I never make a woman feel like she's less than what she is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's not your
Yeah, like, I never do that. But at the same time, like, but I don't know, I have this I guess energy or whatever about me that's like, when I say silly stuff or when I say horrible things, people laugh and they think it's funny, or they run with it. You know what I mean? Me and John, we had conversations for hours, and I'll say like horrible things, and he'll be like, and they're horrible, and he'll laugh because, just, I don't know, my energy, I guess. You know what I mean?
different people, listen, different people have different life experiences and different, things that have brought us to this point. So, I try not to be judgmental on anyone in their situations. You come to me with something, I'll look at it, and I'll try to give as objective advice as I possibly can. Now, obviously, advice can never be fully objective because it's built upon our life experiences. But I try to step out of myself when I speak to people or give them advice. So yeah, but it's important.
Younger me in my previous marriage would have said, if I'm not getting it from home, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm probably gonna get it. That's not so smart. That's not so smart when you're trying to make it work, or you're trying to have a marriage that's gonna. But yeah, I felt like you were trying to diminish me, or you were trying to do something harmful to me, and I wasn't gonna let it happen. So yeah, is sex important? Yes. But I think you need to be with somebody that understands, or y'all have the similar language, sex language, to where it won't happen where you go outside, or it's detrimental to the marriage if it doesn't happen.
All right, so here's a true story. Me and my current ex, we went on the road together because I'm a trucker, right? So I eat a lot of flaming hot popcorn. And I had ate some prior to going to sleep. Now, mind you, when she was on the road, like the sex went down like dramatically. I'm thinking that almost every night I'm thinking we're going to do something like every night, but I think we did it like twice, you know what I mean? And 3 months on the road. So one night, I ate hot popcorn when I went to sleep, and the kernel, I guess, got in my teeth. And when I was like sleeping, I inhaled the kernel. I started choking, and I flunked forward and it started coughing, and it was like red. It looked like blood. And she was just like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Oh, this happens when my balls are for this fool." And she's like, "What?" And she just looked at me like, but see, this is what I'm talking about. This is how I speak.
But you saw the opportunity to let her know you ain't doing nothing.
That there was a deficiency.
Yeah, all her care about my well-being went out the window when I said that, because I was fine. It is what it is, but like that's just the type of dude I am.
I did not know that we were going to end there. But
yeah, right. You could not see that. You could not foresee that.
And I say that I do that, and I say that every time. Like if I'm not getting it at least once every day, like I'll be like, "Oh man," like she's like, "What's wrong?" Like just so much pressure. Or I'll be like, "Yo, if you don't want to be murdered, you know what you got to do." Like I'll just say like, or like she'll look at me and I'm just looking mad, and she'll be like, "What's wrong?" Like just this rage and this hatred is coming, just weighing me down. I feel like I'm gonna kill somebody.
So let me ask you this question, Ed. What is your expectation when you finally settle down with the one?
I feel like the woman that I settle down with, like, okay, whatever woman that I'm
strictly
with,
sexually.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She to me is gonna obviously be like the most glorious freaking trophy ever. You know what I mean? I want every inch of her. I want every inch of her on my face or in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like I want everything of her. But the thing is that the way it is from day one, I want it to be like straight through. You know what I mean? Until I meet my end. And then at the hospital bed before, I want to die inside of her.
Okay.
Yo, right. I want to see Ed's evolution.
No. When it comes down to this, like he had asked me earlier, like, what do you mean you don't compromise? That is where I have problems compromising. Because then, like, because I'll let it be known, like, damn, it's pretty, like, just basic in this motherfucker. She'll be like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. Like, usually there's always, like, sexual energy in this room. There's nothing. There's nothing. I feel nothing.
All right. Listen. Hey, listen.
There'll be times I'll be like, look.
Listen, ladies, Ed is single. Holla at Ed.
Like, I'll tell this shit. I did this to prove a point to my ex once. I was like, yo, you got to start doing this because there'll be times where I'll just randomly go up to her, please her, and walk off. You know what I mean? And I'm like thinking she'll start doing that. And she don't. So I'm thinking like, okay. I said, if you don't step it up, you're going to wake up to a weird surprise. And she was like, all right, what you mean? So then one night, like she was asleep. I always woke up before her. So I was like, yeah. So I just like splooged off right in her face. She woke up just mad, just swinging. I'm like, whoa, what you want me to do? It had to come out, or would you rather be in the front paper? Like, it's up to you.
What?
So if I'm putting my mind in this, in the woman, I'm either gonna die or give it to him? Which one do I prefer?
That's like
Because let me tell you something. Every relationship I've been in, the woman came way more than I ever did. So
Yeah.
with that said, like you have work to do.
Yeah, I hear you. But I think thinking that it's gonna stay
It's
is
unrealistic.
that-
Personally,
I'm very realistic. I know in a
Okay.
marriage it tends to
Right.
go in a
Well, the
downward
fact that you
trajectory.
went 3 months on the road trip.
well, that's I
you
can't go
already
3 months.
know.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you already know. Two and 3 months, that's unacceptable, first of all. But I will say, that, obviously the expectation of doing it every day is like,
My guy. Okay, wait, whoa. My guy. I was single for 8 years before I was with this girl. I went almost a whole year
what?
without any.
That's not
And
healthy.
I know that seems contradictory from what we were talking about earlier, but
Yeah.
a whole year. And knowing what I told you guys earlier, think about what that did to me.
Yeah, I think that's unhealthy.
I do as well.
I think that is unhealthy.
But then again, hey, listen.
I actually lowered my standards because I was like, yo, I can't go a whole year. I'm about to get some fugly girl and just kind of like get this out of me. And I was so like, yo, like you know how when they show in movies like women that are like, they feel dirty and they're like, yo, after that, bro, like I felt like I wanted to go in the shower and cry with like fucking like mascara. Like, yo, I was like, I can't believe I did that. Like, can nobody know about this? Nobody. Like,
but the pressure was gone.
yeah, but
The
it was
mind was
replaced
clear.
with. It was replaced.
Well, yeah, like
with,
I tell my wife, I'm like, listen, my mind is clear. Like I wake up, it's like pulling the shades up. I'm like, listen, I could do anything now. Let's go. That's when I'm at my most productive, and it's true because my mind is clear. I've got that out of my mind, so now I can focus on more important things. That's why sex can be a very positive thing if the two of you are going together, or if it's just you, it can turn into a very, very annoying negative. And it's not a choice. It's not like I can just choose to flip that switch off. If that were the case, then I probably wouldn't be as successful as a species. Because
what do you mean when it's just you? What do you mean when it's just you?
When your partner is busy, they're preoccupied. They have other things going on. They have life in general. But you're still here. You're still standing in the corner of the room, like, so.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think for most healthy relationships, it's not a point of withholding. I think it's just a point of priorities shift to the children, priorities shift to work, to the maintaining the house, to whatever, the million things that women have going on in their minds. Meanwhile, we all know what's going on in our minds. It is what it is. There are men that are the exception, but for the most part, we have this annoying friend on our shoulder who's poking us and annoying us and bothering us. Like it's not a choice. Like, yo, come on, I need that, man. Listen, I need that, and it's not like you can just go out and get it.
Yeah. Well, it's still a
also
choice. You choose
also.
So yeah, exactly. You choose not to because
For the single guys in the room.
No,
They could.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I heard from Ed. I guess I need to hear from Righteous 119.
Yeah, we
He's playing the huh role.
Right. So is sex important?
Question.
Oh, okay, my bad.
You ain't the moderator. Get out of here.
Whoa. But you like to be honest. Also, to be honest too, like you got to think about it too. Like it's very simple for us to get an enjoyment out of it too, and you got to make it like fun and silly for her, because like I'm a silly dude. I remember once with my ex, I had a garment tray. Like you would go to like a fancy party and they'll hand you champagne, and I had a lid. I cut out a hole and then I put like a bunch of garnishments and stuff, and then I put my my tools on top of that. But here's the thing, like that's the kind of stuff I did. But she came up and she had her sister and her mom and her friends with her, and I was like, oh hey, and she's like, oh my god, Kevin. I'm like, it's out. I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you.
All right. So yeah,
Wow.
the consensus of the group is yes, it is very important.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
So there's an old saying, happy wife, happy life, right? And how true do you feel that is? That sentence.
Well, being that isn't she like being that she's the gatekeeper of the thing that you said that was important, I
Mm-hmm.
would think that that's definitely an importance to keep a happy wife because you ain't gonna have no happy life if you don't have a happy wife, and she's the gatekeeper.
Oh, I agree, but your efforts to make her happy does not always translate to what you want.
And I think that
Facts,
is
that's
such.
true.
I think that is such a selfish statement because
Mm.
uh, I'm gonna say this without sounding crazy.
It's a
Hold on,
paradox. It's a paradox.
Right. This is
oh,
such a selfish statement because you can make somebody happy and be miserable as yourself. Well, technically,
Yes, you can.
you can't make somebody happy and miserable, but
You could try.
you could try to make somebody happy and just be like,
yeah.
well,
But
you
yeah,
don't
you
make
could
you
do
happy, but this makes me miserable.
yeah, you could do for
Talking,
her to be resenting of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
talking to the guys at work.
Too, with that my fault, John. And then again, too, with that same sentiment, can you really make them happy? I don't believe you can make
No,
somebody happy.
truthfully, you can only make yourself happy. But within the confines of your relationship, yeah, I put forth all the effort that I can to try to, make my wife, and at this point in the state, it's not my job to make my children happy. I believe it's my job to give them structure and prepare them for the
Provide.
world. So
But
it's
but
different for
if
that. But
but Ronald, isn't it the job of the woman to make you happy while you trying to make her happy? Why it's your job to make her happy? Isn't it
true.
her job to make you happy?
I don't believe
But her priority.
personally, I don't believe somebody can make me happy.
Her priority will be the
Someone else
children.
can't make me happy. I have to make myself happy. And then if I'm happy, then I will just be happy. I can
Yeah,
like
but
or
if,
dislike some of the things you do, but you can't make me happy.
if
Yeah,
she
I don't
like,
don't, if
believe.
she can't make you happy, then what's the point of her being there?
What do you mean?
see, y'all can grow and experience life together.
See, okay, happy wife, happy life. That's a very big paradox. Like you said, I don't believe in paradoxes. So I have to suffer or be miserable or just be meh while you're just living it up. That I don't like that. I don't like that because I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do as a man and as her man. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
And I'm always gonna put her in her place as my woman. You get what I mean?
Mm.
She's never gonna feel any less. Um, but here's another thing about me personally. I don't believe nobody should be happy, and here's why. Because happiness to me is your content, like your what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're settling. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is as good as I feel right now. I want to stay like
Oh, okay, I
this.
understand what you're
You
saying.
get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't like to feel stagnant. I like to just keep like elevating. So as happy as I may be right now, like what can I do to make myself even happier? You
I
get what I'm
got you. I
saying?
got you.
Like if I go on vacation in Key West, Florida, and I'm like, oh, it's beautiful, I love it, I'm happy. That's cool and all, but like, you know what? Let me step it up. Let me go to Barbados instead. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Let me go.
So
Yeah,
you
like
you
it
believe you
just
should never be comfortable.
correct. Complacent. That's the word. There you go.
That's
Thank
a
you.
that's a whole different conversation
I
for
agree.
actually I have a yeah, we can get it. That's a whole different
I agree.
conversation. That's a significant conversation all to itself. But like, with me, when I was speaking to some of the young guys, I was just telling them how my philosophy, and they call me a simp. They said, since I'm willing to put the needs and desires of my wife and children ahead of my own, you know you're simping, man. I'm like, really? I guess. Okay. I
I
guess.
guess that would be simple with a simple mind.
Mm,
Because they don't have a clue of what's in store for them.
yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't think most of these young men understand what it's like to have a healthy
bond.
relationship. Yeah, exactly. And there is give and take, there is compromise, there are a certain degree of sacrifices. And if I need to sacrifice my wife's time and attention um for my children, if you want, then there's a compromise. There's a you got to keep things balanced.
I think the phrase has changed over the years. So back in time, let's say where men were getting married just to have sex because they weren't having sex until they got married to someone.
Yeah,
I think the saying "happy wife, happy life" went, further for that generation. But this generation, if I could expound on that, then it would make more sense to me.
I
So,
got you.
happy wife, happy life, if your wife is also keeping you happy. I have to
Okay.
be happy and it's not about making happy. I know, it looks like Righteous 119 kind of fell off, but it's not about somebody. Yeah, it's not about somebody making you happy. It's about making a life that's conducive for being happy.
I agree.
So if you guys are both on the same page, yeah, if you guys are both on the same page as far as desires, wants, even morality got to be on the same page. It's easy, I believe. So yes, we might want to call it a honeymoon phase, but I haven't stopped smiling.
Yeah, and that's
And that's good. That's good. Keep
I
smiling.
found somebody that's like-minded, and I have no problem saying I'm going to make sure she's happy because then I already know my life is going to be happy for her.
Yeah.
I feel like she's thinking the same way, and neither one of us is kind of making ourselves a person that we're not. We're both just doing us, and
Yeah.
it becomes easy. But I agree with my man Ed when he says, "Yeah, let's not just sit here." And I don't think either one of us is sitting there. Well, we're looking for even more to do together and have these experiences together. Happy wife, happy life, and then find some way to kind of bring it back around to the happy husband too.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I want my relationship, with my wife, I want it to be like a reality check or a shit stain in everyone else's face. You know what I mean? Like, I want like
You want to smear it in everybody else's face.
Yeah, I want our name to just be everywhere. Like, I want our name to be on buildings, billboards. I want what we have to be just recognized as like next level. Like,
and what everybody else wants. What everybody else wants. Like, they see y'all like, I want that.
Got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of people look at me as like a go-getter. So it's like, cool. So I need a go-getter wife, you know what I mean? Who's just going to be hungry and motivated and who has the same mentality. Like, I'm happy. Yeah, but I want to be happier. You know what I mean? And not happier like, oh, I'm gonna go get with John. No, happier like, yo, let's figure out what to do next. You know what I mean? Let's not sit still, let's just do shit, and like, I can't see myself settling, you know what I mean? And I refuse to settle.
My advice to the next generation, or even to my kids now, is don't settle. I know for a fact that whatever you want is out there. Yeah. And if you haven't found it, that's just because you haven't given it time, or you just haven't found it yet. But don't settle. That's going to be the worst thing you could ever do for yourself.
Yeah,
I heard it.
Advice for the new generation would be one, to know what you want, two, to be intentional and purposeful when you're going to get what you want. Like, you have to literally be intentional. And three would be to try to be as open as possible to like compromise or to have an extreme amount of patience with this animal called marriage, because it's so evolving all the time that you gotta have patience to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Your advice, Ed?
Why'd everyone laugh?
No.
Man, I don't know. Like, just to touch back on what you guys said, man. Just you got to keep moving forward and moving up. Moving forward is great. Moving up is great, but you got to keep moving in a certain angle. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just I don't let things bother me. So neither should any of you. I'm very sincere. I feel like everyone should be. There's no point in not being sincere. be with your intentions, with your word. Don't lead people on, etc. But like you said, like knowing what you want, it's the same thing with happiness, which I never got to mention, is that people typically don't know what makes them happy. And I can honestly look at you and say, oh, I have all these dreams and goals. I have all this crap that I own. I'm into all these hobbies, but it's like, yeah, they entertain me. They're fun, but does it make me happy? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always like picking up one thing, enjoying it, and then moving up and forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I find it very difficult to believe anyone knows what makes them happy. So, the happy wife, happy life, I don't believe in that in so many angles, but I don't believe anyone really knows what makes them happy. But you got to have a clear cut and concise vision for yourself and for what you leave behind, especially with your children. Because once you have those little units, you don't matter no more. It's all about them. So with my son, I haven't been the greatest father with because of situations, but with this coming girl, if she's mine, like I swear to you, like it's gonna be, I'm gonna buy a field and put her in a castle and show her what to look for in a man. You get what I mean? And I'm not gonna feed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're working on things now. Oh, for sure. But for final advice, I guess, I mean, like I said, just be sincere and concise and know what it is you want. Before I stop running my mouth and rambling, the last thing I'm gonna say is like, the way my mind works, I look at it in reverse. I don't look at things one step at a time. I look at it like, okay, like the past 2 months, I've been looking at the new Corvette. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy that, and I know I can, and I know I will. But how do I go about that? So before that, I need good credit. Before that, I need this. Before that, I need that, and then I do it. A lot of people do this one step at a time crap. So when it comes down to life, marriage, women, children, everything, I feel like the biggest advice I can give is try to have a clear vision on what it is you want and just move backwards and never stay still.
Got you. All right. Well, listen, I think you first need to know yourself before you can, build your castle, know yourself, know your goals, dreams, and desires prior to, inviting anyone into your kingdom that you've built. Keep yourself open, but I think it's important to have realistic expectations on what, life is going to be. Like I said earlier, I'm a firm believer now in, marriage counseling, which was not the case really when I get married. We just weren't that interested in it. But, it's challenging to know the person that you're going to be. And it's even more difficult and really impossible to know the person that your partner is going to be 10 years, 15 years, 20 years from now. So you manage the things that you can control. And those things are yourself, know your dreams, know your desires, build your kingdom, and, find the right person that's going to be a part of your kingdom. But be realistic about it.
Mm.
All right. It's all good. We'll Well, listen, I definitely appreciate you, gentlemen, for coming on today.
Definitely appreciate
you. Definitely fun.
We got a couple more different conversations coming up, gun control. I think we could actually expand on this, the philosophy of not settling, getting comfortable in relationships like Ed was, because that's a whole different conversation all to itself. Yeah, getting too comfortable or too complacent in your relationship or even in yourself as a person. Like I've been trying my best to better myself as a man, losing weight, working out, improving my credit, lowering my debt. That's actually a good conversation that I want to have in the future.
Oh yeah.
I got to come up with a good handle for you guys to call me by, man. Jeez, I'm over here thinking about like social media names, like.
Yeah, mine might even change now. I need something that's catchy as opposed to just my first initial and last name.
Yeah, mine is the family man. The family man. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I go by Union Cash, so that's my gamer tag. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I stream pretty much every night. I've been off for like the last 2 months, maybe. Been busy with life and
Yeah,
going through
same
different
here.
seasons, so such. But I've been back in my streams lately, every night, getting the game. But
I'm a- and I'm actually trying to get back in the gym. You talking about bettering yourself, John. I think it goes into making sure that you're the most appealing to your wife, because you definitely want your wife to
Yeah.
be appealing to
See,
you.
I'm like, listen, I'm gonna make sure I'm groomed,
Yeah.
better shape, improving my grooming, improving my clothing, improving my smells.
Oh,
I've been improving the different scents and the smells that I got going on. Not for anybody else. This is for my wife.
yeah. Oh, I want my girl to want me every day.
Yeah,
So if I want her, and I definitely want her to know that she needs to make me want her. I'm gonna
exactly.
do the same thing for myself. So I also stream like workouts and stuff like that I'm doing. You know,
Okay.
just
All right. Shout it out. Shout it out.
what's your platform?
it's on YouTube. I guess I don't make everything public because it's embarrassing some of the positions that you find yourself in, especially when you fail a lift or anything like that. But on YouTube, Franklin Celestin, you can definitely find it. There's a lot of things that are public, like my old competitions and stuff like that. But when you
You're
don't
muted.
have the motivation or a group of guys or people to motivate you every day that you work out with, it's kind of
Yeah.
good knowing that somebody's watching you. Like if you don't do it, hey, you didn't
Yeah.
put one up today. Does that mean you didn't work out, kind of thing?
Yeah,
So,
definitely,
so
definitely.
that's what I'm
That's
using.
actually a good conversation. I was talking to Ronald Righteous in Union that a conversation that I wanted to have is how, as men in our community, we could um, uplift each other, like help each other to accomplish the goals that we have for one another, hold each other accountable. Because you're right, it is different if you like I put out there that I want to be in my 190s weight wise by 2021. By putting that out there publicly, if come 2021
Where
I
you at,
look,
brother?
like people look at me in the mirror in the camera, and I'm like, yeah, man, you look like you 220, or like you look.
Yeah.
Then it's different when you put your goals out there. It's more motivation to accomplish them, and I think as men in our communities,
Hey,
we
what's
could.
being 190?
Hey, listen, I'm almost there. I thought it was going to take longer than it has. I'm 203 right now.
Uh-huh.
I think that was high school back then.
Hmm.
I left New York 225. I'm 202 now.
And that's through COVID.
Yeah. And that's me working out in my office. Like I don't even have, I'm not going to the gym or nothing.
Yeah.
But whatever your goals might be, whether it's righteous, you want to sell a certain amount of records, you want to get a certain amount of views. If it's Ed, you want to get that Corvette, whatever it might be. I think as a community, especially other men, we could work together to, help motivate and hold each other accountable for whatever goals we have for each other. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, I got to get my abs back because I'm not a fan of the way I'm
Listen.
right now, man.
Yo, Ed, listen, we got to do this push-up challenge, baby. I've been doing it. Remember, we discussed this a while ago. 200 push-ups a day.
All right,
Remember that?
How are you proving it? How are we proving it? Because I'll jump in.
Oh, listen, you got to hold yourself. I've been doing them when no one's watching. I've been in my room banging them out.
Well,
Man,
then I'm
when
gonna
I
need
started,
like a check mark to put somewhere.
A what?
when I
Push-up challenge. Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, when I started trucking, I was 207, and I'm not gonna say my weight right now is really bad. So it's like I'm like, yo, how'd I go from that? And then before I was 180, just shredded, and I was put together pretty well. And then how'd I go from that to this? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
It's
what
like
the
there ain't nothing wrong with it. No,
So ain't nothing to it but to do it. Let's get this push-up challenge going. Let's get it back, baby. Whatever your goals are, listen,
What are we
as
doing?
men, as
200?
yeah, 200 a day.
Oof.
I'm working my way up to it. I've been doing like 160. By the end of the night, I'm not even gonna lie. Those last 25, I'll be struggling. Like I get off of work and I come home, I'm like, I'm like 7 in. I'm like, ooh.
See, Here's the
I
problem.
joined the 200 with you.
All right, that's what's up.
Here's the problem with me. Like, I know I can not only lose this weight and get shredded abs in 22 days. I know for a fact I can, but I just get so unmotivated. Plus, I'm in a truck. You know what I'm saying? Like 5 days a week and 5
I'm
nights
in an
a week,
office.
So it's like,
Yeah.
This is where I am. This is where I work. This is where I am the most of the day. But I got my free weights right here, and I got my pull-up bar. But once again, if that's not a goal for you, if that's not a priority, it's something that you're looking, you're trying to do in your life, then it's a non-factor. If you really want your Corvette, I want to buy a house next year.
Yeah, facts.
I want to buy a house. So I'm working hard right now to eliminate my debt, raise my credit score, so I can provide my family with their own home next year. That is my goal. I'll put it out there.
You don't want to buy a house next year. You're going to buy a house next year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's the wording, because all the little subtle things that plays a part in your mind.
I got you. I understand what you're saying. But yeah, I think as men in the community, we should do more to help motivate each other and hold each other accountable so we can, be successful.
Oh man, there's no brotherhood anymore, man. That's
why
I'm
not?
I'm gonna be 195 too.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for that too.
How do I? You said I heard all throughout this little recording that you're doing. You have a single out.
Yeah.
How do I hear it, and what do I do?
You can go to let's see. you know what? The easiest way is to go to righteous119.com and just click on the top single. The first video you see, when you click on my music, it'll go right to the videos. And the first video you see, that's the new single. It's called Save Me.
It's awesome.
All right, got it.
He had a few other tracks that was my number one, but when Save Me came out, that jumped to the top.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. But listen, I definitely appreciate you guys.
Okay.
No, go ahead, Dre.
You gotta get your final thoughts on the relationship. I know you kind of cut out there for a second.
Yeah. Marriage
just
is
your advice to the young generation.
Yeah, what's your advice to the young generation?
Stop sleeping around. STDs are still alive.
Okay. That is true.
Very concise. Very streamlined.
I feel like that's another topic. I don't agree with it. Me, I mean, no, listen, married, you shouldn't be doing anything. But when you're single, I have a different view on sleeping around and the necessity of it.
That's a conversation for another day.
Oh, we need to have a part 2.
Yeah, we definitely have to have a part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some stories for you with that. So let's do it.
All right. Well, listen, gentlemen, I definitely appreciate you. Yeah, we definitely gonna do this again because we got some more topics to discuss. Let's. I'm definitely gonna check out Franklin's his videos, and Ed. Good luck with that Corvette, baby.
We're a little ways away from that, but I'll get it.
Thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. I had a whole lot of fun.
Oh, you'll be back because I want to hear about this. What you just said. You can't drive no car.
of mowing around. Got you.
Got you.
Another episode of the Equalist Chamber with Ron, John, and Dre. Thank you, special guests Franklin and Ed. We out.
All right, later. Are we off live?
Yeah, because it sounds like we about to jump into something as soon as we do go off.
I know. Stuff we ain't supposed to be talking about.
Echo the echoless chamber. Echo the echoless chamber. Open your mind and listen to both sides. Echo the echoless chamber. Echo the echoless chamber. Echo the echoless chamber.
I was trying so hard to censor myself.
You wake up early for work, button up, tied up, tuck your shirt. It's just a day in the blues, tipping off these pieces of you. But at the end of the day, tune in with Ron, John, and Dre. They got the word that serves to have you heard.
Listen, I
And
figured
when
with
they
the
talk,
different,
you
the
hear.
different
They
people,
speak
the
the truth,
different
no
kind of
fear.
phases
From
in
God to
relationships,
sports to
it would
politics,
be
right
an
here.
interesting conversation to have.
Facts. No
There's a lot
judgment
more
for
interesting
others. They got
conversations to
respect
have
for
even
each
within that
other to
same space.
unify one
You're
another.
right.
Now let's go.
When I was
Echoless chamber. Echoless chamber. Open your mind and listen to both
you didn't know me when I was single in New York.
echoless chamber.
I was a different man. When I came back to New York,
Echoless chamber. The
it was different.
echoless
Yeah.
chamber. Open your mind and listen to both sides.
But I know that being married to somebody that I didn't know